When you start training Muay Thai, these three things, it's gonna speed up your progress so fast. Mistake number one. Do you feel like in class you're running out of breath? A lot of times, like, you see new people coming in with a lot of tension, and you start you throw it too hard and your technique all off, but you're pushing yourself too hard in class. When you first start doing Muay Thai, you are not really working on power. Last is your power. After you work your technique, then you put your speed in, then you throw power. Power with no technique and speed, one, it doesn't land. Two, it takes too much gas. You're just punching air and running out of gas. Technique, speed, and power is really the formula. Your technique gives you the most efficient way to throw a strike. Basically, the least energy taxing and the most power. Try it on the back, not even in a fight. Before a fight, just when you're waiting for a fight, half of your gas tank is gone. That's why you see people breathing heavy. Because your heart rate is up. It's 100 plus. So by the time you start fighting, you already have gas out. Conserving your energy becomes an insanely strategic thing, right? Because you want to conserve your energy, but you still want to be on the defensive and you want to be dangerous. Sometimes a whole week. I do it actually a lot of shadow boxing jabs. Jab, move it around, jab, jab, jab. And then I do it on the back. Boom, power jab, body jab, just jab. And I make it boring. I make it I'm only doing jab. Then if I add something, I'm adding jab, body or jab, overhand. So you work on one thing and you build on it and you build on different variations. For example, cross jab, which is very awkward. A lot of people don't teach. Outside of the class, that's when you break things down and you work on your technique and you're on time and you're on pace. There is no pressure. You're not exhausted. You want to really dial it into your DNA that when you're super exhausted, your jab's still nice and clean.
Second thing you need to know.
So when I started training, I was actually throwing a lot of power, everything power, power, power. Then I realized I'm passing out and running out of energy a lot in class. I kind of cut things down and I started working on my technique, which is actually tricky because you don't normally work on your technique much in class. You work on your technique outside of class because during the class, there's only 60 minutes a lot of times. And the coach trying to go through the combos and basically setting the class for more I would say intermediate to advanced, right? So as a beginner, your technique is done a lot outside of the class. That's when you start shadow boxing, you're breaking down your punches, your movement. You're just working on how things land, how's your positioning, what comes after what, uppercut, hook, knee, right? Uppercut, hook, knee, maybe left kick, I don't know, but you want to basically break things down and just make sure your rotations are right, your foundation is correct, and your reach is maximized without, falling off balance. That's my next point. The class is not enough. The class is to get through things and have a partner to go a little bit hard and to actually push yourself. A lot of times, they're trying to really dig into your gas tank and trying to get you to push yourself in class. But outside of the class, that's when you work on your technique, you work on your footwork. Now, third is when you spar. Even when you're hitting pads, a lot of people don't understand when to go and when to catch breath. When I was new, it was only offense. What you want to do when you spar is attack, retrieve, and breathe. Or attack and defend and breathe. Especially understanding how to be on the defensive and breathing and not panic and not if someone throw a punch, you're trying to tap it and shit. Your breathing is always interrupted. Understand what is an offensive tactic, coming in with combo, boom, kick. What's a defensive where you're going back, but you still make your opponent or your partner think by throwing a jab, things that are minimal energy costing, and also you can breathe and catch a breath, and then you decide to come back again with a combo. So the idea is understand how to pace yourself especially in sparring. You want to be able to be on the offense, defense, and find breathing rooms. If you don't, you find yourself gassing out a lot. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below what else there is, that you can pay attention to in the beginning, or something you fell into in the beginning that could have improved your Muay Thai if you pay attention to.